You guys, the update, it's out there. The Cyberpunk remaster, whatever you want to call it, the next gen series update is out there. Now, I played this game when it first came out. I was able and fortunate to play it on a Series X. And I played all the way through and I loved it. I had a great time with it. Cyberpunk was a fantastic game. But there was a lot of things that could have been, improved on. Some of the wall textures and just the overall experience just wasn't the best. We got an update. The next gen update is out there. Let's talk about it a little bit because there's quite a bit of changes. Quite a bit of changes. Let me slide this over there. All right, so they put out a trailer going into this. Let me bump down this audio a bit. They put out this trailer. Well, not really a trailer. They put out this preview this morning of this, and we'll just talk about a few of the things that I think are fantastic. So right off the bat, we have like a new apartment area. There's a new apartment, I think. I mean, unless this is something you maybe have to buy, maybe that's what it is or something. But look at this, change appearance. You can finally change your character's appearance. Such a small fix that they should have had in the original, but now it's in there. That's awesome. I mean, that's something that I wish they would have just put in to begin with. That was something that they feel like they should have been able to put in. So, and also you can see skin texture looks a lot better. The rendering on the skin looks a lot more human, I think, than the original. But if we go back, we jump around here. So we obviously get a new apartment. That's kind of a given here. It looks, unless you, like I said, maybe you have to purchase this apartment. I don't know. But this apartment looks sweet. I like this look of the apartment a lot better than the other one. Maybe this is like the end game apartment, and that'd be really cool if that's the case. All those screens, the weapon screens and everything look fine. I mean, look normal. There's nothing that looks different about those for the most part. I'm sure there's some stuff that's different, but that looks basically all the same. Now, let me bump this up to 1080p so we can see what. There we go. Okay. That's pretty cool. A little record player right there. So as you see, like the textures and everything in on the walls, they've improved a lot on the reflections. I think they're a lot better as well. That still kind of looks kind of generic. When you pour, when you pour water into something, you should show the water being poured, and it should show a little more like a real life thing. I think. I feel like that wouldn't be too hard to add in. And I'm being nitpicky here. I'm being nitpicky. This was already a fantastic game when I first played it, but I've waited for the new next gen edition to come out so we can really get a full immersion. I wonder where this apartment is. It kind of looks like that one mission, that Perez mission, actually. So let's jump to now. This I feel like they kind of got lazy on. I feel like the people they I feel like they're just all walking to something. And I mean, I don't know how they could make this more realistic. Maybe like make groups of people talking and whatnot, not just people passing by. I just think that's kind of bland. I think GTA has done better with groups of people talking, even or groups of people walking. The reflections they look a lot better. I mean, if you look too on like the textures on just like that tree, for example, it looks a little better. I mean, this is like a digital city type of game, so there's not a lot of plants and stuff. But it looks better. The lighting looks a lot better right there. Okay, the katana does look better. I'm not gonna lie, that does look a lot better, a lot better. I still think they could improve on the weapon mechanics on melee combat. There's not a way to parry. Like there should be a way to parry, and there's just not. It's a very easy thing I think they could put in, and maybe not. Maybe it's not an easy thing. I would think they would be familiar with it though. I mean, coming from Witcher 3, you could parry. And if you wanted to play the whole game with Katana, I think that would just be a neat feature to put in. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Maybe you can parry. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played this. That looks pretty cool. I mean, all of this was in the original game. It's just they fine-tuned some stuff, made things look better, basically. Which I'm all about. I'm all about, aesthetics of a game. If they can improve the looks and graphics of a game, it'll make me want to play it again. As a matter of fact, I cannot wait till the next gen edition of Witcher 3 comes out. I'm gonna play that game through completely all the way through again, and I've already done 4 complete playthroughs of that game. So I'm all about aesthetics of a game. You can't say I'm not. But I feel like they could just do better with the slashing. I feel like the slashing is just generic, and it's just kind of. I feel like they could have done better. I'm a little bit disappointed on that. The cars look good. They looked good in the original one too. Like I said, I was very fortunate to play this on a Series X when it came out. A lot of people aren't. So let's jump to this next one. They next showed a mission here that showed up close to, and they basically did this to show how dark scenes look different. In my opinion, it still looks dark. They could have raised the contrast a little bit more, or the detail, to make this scene look better. I honestly didn't have a problem with looking at the roads and stuff. A lot of people complained about the reflections on the roads at night. I didn't mind that. This was a fun little mission too. All these missions are the same. They didn't release as far as I know, they didn't release a DLC. I'm hoping that comes soon. I was really hoping to play this again when a DLC came out. I want to jump back into this game. I really do. I want a reason to jump back into this game because I enjoyed playing it through the first time, but it didn't have the same replay ability like Witcher 3 did. I played that game through a couple times from start to finish, like with no break in between. I just couldn't get enough of that. But Cyberpunk, it was when after I finished my first playthrough, I didn't feel like jumping back in. I felt like it was great. I had a great time with it, but it just wasn't Witcher 3. And I'm hoping that this next gen edition and this next gen DLC too, when it comes out, will kind of make me want to go back to it. Okay, those reflections on the van are a little bit new. The texture reflections there. They really did, I think, try to improve the texture in this a lot. They did improve the inside. Like look at the details in the back there. You can kind of see stuff cooking back there and whatnot. They did improve that. Before it was just all just bland. There was nothing going on back there. There was just a person working there up front, and that's it. So they've improved a lot of the things there. They've also improved the textures on the like magazines and stuff laying around. You can actually almost read the words on them now. If you look at Carrie's face too and clothes, it just looks a lot better. I mean, that's just due to the Series X capabilities. The way people are walking looks a lot better. The way their clothes is creased and folded Little details, but little details like that can be immersion breaking if they're not done right.
You got it. And for you? What he's having. Great. Be right back with it.
Very more realistic interaction. Very more realistic.
Just coming down now.
And you can see this guy on the right there. He's eating something there. I mean, that looks a lot better too, in my opinion.
Back in Memphis. Last tour, last concert, vibes from the crowd, me on stage. Oh fuck. Just thought about those
I will say, I feel a lot more immersed in this, and I can't wait to play it. Do you guys want to see a let's play of this? I mean, I could do a let's play playthrough of this remaster or regen, whatever you want to call it. I could do a complete playthrough if you guys wanted to watch it.
Look at this. Unlistenable.
This is new, I think, in this mission. I've done this mission before, but I don't remember this coming up. I don't think I do anyway. I feel like I would have remembered something like this.
Fuck. Anyone could churn out hits like that. Even you.
Huh. All the textures look a lot better. I'm very impressed with all the textures. They look good. This is then they showed 3 missions total in this playthrough. Now, if you look here, I noticed something here. Look at the dashboard. The RPM jumps a lot around. It's not consistently like in a car, when you drive, the RPM goes up and then catches down when it shifts gears automatically. The RPM in that was just going going back and forth. But it's a small detail I noticed. I'm just trying to be nitpicky here.
You got VIP rooms here, for private shindigs?
I really wish they would have made this game third person. And I know a lot of people agree too. I think this game would have sold so many more copies if it would have done third person. I think the first person immersion, I understand what they were going with, but they should have made that optional because some people just don't like playing first person. Some people like being on the backside of their character, being able to look at their character, the aesthetics of their character. And I don't think CD Projekt understood that. That was one of the reasons Witcher 3 was so cool. You could customize Geralt however you wanted. You could see him and you didn't get dizzy playing. There was times when I played this where I had to take pretty long breaks just because my brain was trying to playing a first person game is so different than third person. You're trying to immerse yourself, your brain's living in that first person view, and it kind of gets tiring on the eyes. This is a game that got tiring on the eyes. And if they would have done third person, I feel like it would have sold so many more copies. And I hope that they eventually throw third person into this game. It probably will never happen, but it's just a hope that I'm hoping for down the road. Now, I will say this looks a lot better. This sound dance bar, if you want to call it that. Everything looks really good there. The textures look good. You can look at the alcohol in the back there. It looks a lot more realistic. I feel like this is just generic, though. They just put a bunch of NPCs in here just dancing. Like, there's no groups of people talking. Like, in a club, there's never just all these people just dancing. There's always groups of people talking and stuff. I feel like the realism of that, of a real dance party, just isn't there. And once again, a small detail, I understand, but when you try to create a game where you want to be immersed in it, you should be thinking of every little detail in real life as well, and try to make it as much as that as possible. That looks better. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is going 60 frames per second though. I'm not sure if the new one goes 60 frames per second. I know Witcher 3 you can run in performance mode with you and you can get 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series X. I don't know if this is though. I'm not sure. If you guys know, put in the comments if you know can run in 60 frames per sec on console, obviously. PC it can do more than 60 frames probably. I'm talking about console though. I'm a console gamer. The lighting in this room looks good.
I'm extending a fucking.
And I don't know, did they add more stuff in too when it comes into like hacking? This kind of looks new in a ways. Some of this stuff looks different. Maybe not though, I don't know. Maybe they made it more easier to hack. That was something I didn't do much of on my first playthrough. My first playthrough, I wanted to play through like a samurai, basically, a cyberpunk samurai. So I used a katana a lot. I didn't use much hacking skills. I do love how you can play this game in all kinds of different ways, though. All the graphics look a lot better, in my opinion. I think they look just a lot more smoother, and I think this is heading in the right direction too. And like I said, if you haven't played this game, now is the time to play this game. If you waited to play this game, I'd say this is a good enough fix where you can really have an awesome experience. I had an amazing experience when I first played through, when it first came out. I was fortunate, you know, I was one of the lucky ones. And I had a great time. A great time. As good a time as Witcher 3? I don't think so. It's just, it wasn't as rememberable as Witcher 3 was. Witcher 3, like, I can recall almost every quest or every main quest. There's so many side quests in there that you could play it through a boundful of times and still get new content. But there was something about the main quest that just was kind of boring. It didn't hook me. And that's one of the reasons I wasn't excited to replay it. But I wanted a reason to replay it. So now I might have a reason. So that's what we got. That's what we got. And the update's out there. You can download it. It's 62 gigabytes, so it's pretty damn big. But that's what we got. And like I said, I I think I'm gonna replay this again. Do you guys want to see a let's play though of this? Because I could do a let's play. I tried doing a let's play of Code Vein, and it didn't go over that well. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it was an older game. Maybe this would do better. If that's the case, I understand completely. But I would do a let's play of this. I think it would be a fun time. And like I said, I've wanted a reason to jump back into this game because this game was very, very fun when I first played it. Very fun. So I recommend checking it out. If you haven't played it yet, now is your chance. Download that 62 gigabyte update and pick it up if you haven't already. It's worth a play. It's definitely worth a play. We do have Elden Ring coming out next week, though, already. That's pretty crazy. So this will probably be on the back burner to play after Elden Ring because Elden Ring is going to be all the content from here on out, I'm sure, after this next week because of how big of a game that is. So if you haven't, though, pick it up. I think you guys will enjoy it. I think this is a great update. I'm excited to get back to it eventually.